Is a China-Taiwan war imminent? There are reasons why this is being asked now. 1. U.S. militarists pumping up a statement allegedly made years ago by President Xi that China will invade Taiwan in 2027 despite Xi having denied it.
We know from the CIA annual threat assessment that it says Chairman Xi has told the People's Liberation Army to be ready, completely ready for an invasion of Taiwan by 2027.
The year 2027 was first brought up by the CCP's annual strategy meeting in 2020, the fifth plenary session of the 19th National Congress. At this Congress, the CCP stated 3 military goals they wanted to accomplish by the year 2027.
That Xi has ordered his military to be capable of invading Taiwan by 2027.
2. Recent Chinese military drill which is being misconstrued by China's foes as a simulated invasion of Taiwan. 3. Recent Taiwan military exercise which is the largest so far, to thwart any invasion from China.
7月9号，台军开始为期10天9夜的汉光41号演习实兵演练，持续时间为历年最长。重点演练所谓灰色地带袭扰应对、联合反登陆作战及岛上持久防御等科目，多款美制装备首次参演。实兵演练分为3个阶段，第一阶段为9号到11号的所谓常态危机处理，第二阶段为12号的所谓应急作战。
4. Taiwan is under the third term of a pro-independence DPP government. 5. The over 3 years old Ukraine war. The DPP government viewed it as similar to a future Chinese invasion of Taiwan. Ukraine today, Taiwan tomorrow. 6. The recent US plus Israel attack on Iran. This boosts the DPP government's confidence that with US military might, it can take on a much bigger China. Geopolitics has worsened the situation. Since years back, geopolitics has been trending towards war in the Asia-Pacific centered around China and Taiwan. NATO joining in the fray. Since years ago NATO has been working on extending its might to the Asia-Pacific. It has since roped in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea to begin an Asia-Pacific NATO. Its latest chief even made ridiculous claim linking the war in Ukraine to a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. The US is now under a more confident, aggressive, and reckless Trump presidency 2.0. With a VP which thinks Chinese are all peasants. A staunch anti-communist Secretary of State and a young and brash Secretary of Defense. Together, they threaten and demonize China. They engage in fear-mongering and warmongering about China's imminent attack on Taiwan. With this as excuse, the US is selling more advanced military weapons to Taiwan.
Then I'm with President Xi of China, but I said the same thing to them. I said, if you go into Taiwan, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Beijing. He thought I was crazy. He said, Beijing, you're going to bomb Beijing. I said, I have no choice. I got to bomb them. We're going to bomb Beijing.
We borrow money from Chinese peasants to buy the things those Chinese peasants manufacture. That is not a recipe for economic prosperity, it's not a recipe for low prices, and it's not a recipe for good jobs in the United States of America.
First of all, do you agree that the PRC is the biggest threat that we face as the United States?
The Communist Party of China that leads the PRC, is the most potent and dangerous near-peer adversary this nation has ever confronted. They have elements that the Soviet Union never possessed. They are a technological adversary and competitor, an industrial competitor, an economic competitor, a geopolitical competitor, a scientific competitor now, in every realm. It's an extraordinary challenge. It's one that I believe will define the 21st century.
It has to be clear to all that Beijing is credibly preparing to potentially use military force to alter the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. We know, it's public, that Xi has ordered his military to be capable of invading Taiwan by 2027. The PLA is building the military needed to do it, training for it every day, and rehearsing for the real deal. Again, to be clear, any attempt by Communist China to conquer Taiwan by force would result in devastating consequences for the Indo-Pacific and the world.
In Taiwan, those Taiwan independents, TI, after 3 consecutive terms in government, have become more confident and reckless too in defying China for full independence. It is arming itself to the teeth with advanced American weapons in preparation for a war of independence.
中华民国已经在台澎金马落地生根，和中华人民共和国互不隶属。民族自由在这块土地上成长茁壮，中华人民共和国无权代表台湾。
Under these conditions, should China start the war of reunification against Taiwan? No. Why? Because beyond the fog of an imminent war created by the US and its Taiwan independence cronies, lies the clear and bright prospect for peaceful reunification. Left in peace, China continues to do well, making good progress. In the realms of economy, military, science and technology, China is surging ahead and is surpassing the US in increasing number of areas. Whether US politicians or ordinary Americans like it or not, China is going to overtake the US. It's only a matter of time. And that's getting shorter and shorter. The well-being of China is becoming known to people all over the world. Those who have been to China are highly impressed with what they have seen in the country and its society compared to theirs. These include people from Taiwan. More people from the island have visited China and are very impressed by what they see there. These include politicians, online influencers, and ordinary people. And the experiences have made them become pro-unification. They have become more aware that they and the mainlanders are people of the same ancestors with the same root.
海峡两岸的年轻人能够透过祭祀中华人文始祖的庄严仪式，更深刻感受到身为炎黄子孙的骄傲，进一步能够携手合作，共创中华民族美好的未来。
台湾人就是中国人，哪里不对？现在你在这里讲忘中国，搞不好明天就被骂。但是不要忘记啊，以前我们中华民国就中国，不是吗？我希望我们台湾人不要被大陆人看不起。大陆真的发展的非常强大，只要两岸一团结，真的什么都可以做到了。
井底窥天。我以前听到这句话，我真的很反感，因为我以前支持民进党。但是现在的确，我们已经远远落后，远远落后。我们那天坐船那种什么大桥，看那个桥多大，你台湾根本没有半条这种桥。电力，大陆说他们不知道多少年没有停过电，随便用，这就是我们台湾人心目中的痛。来到上海之后，你心里面会有很多问号：为什么大陆今天可以发展到这样？那如果它不民主、不开放，没有人权，城市不会建设成这样。说实话又会伤到，我又会被做新闻；不说实话，我觉得我又不够公正，装睡的人叫不醒。
大陆的朋友、中国的朋友，我们都是中国人啊。国民党，中国国民党就是中国人，谁可以不认同这个东西？这一段就由我来说，民进党针对我就好，两岸和平。那我会继续努力，我就多去几趟。希望台湾、大陆一片和谐，台湾人也多去几趟，去好吃、好睡、好住。我们来避掉这些飞弹、子弹。14亿2300万人应该要团结，而不是互相杀对方。
两 岸都是属于中国，台湾人在宪法定义上就是中国人。那么两岸目前呢就是一个中国，两岸都是属于中国，台湾人在宪法定义上就是中国人，而台湾呢是一个地理名词，并不是国家的名称。我们从文化的角度来看，两岸也都是中华儿女；从宪法的角度来看，两岸都是中国人，难道有说错吗？
所谓本是同根生，相煎何太急。在西方国家，我们看起来就是亚洲人、华人。希望我们能够一起走向和解跟和平，而非对立与纷争。如果我们都能放下彼此心中的偏见，共同寻求更多的理解与尊重，那么我相信这个世界也会越来越好。
And they are all living good, peaceful, and prosperous lives now. War will destroy all these. They have seen how wars have ravaged other countries in the world. Modern communications and worldwide media coverage bring those massive deaths and destruction very close to home. They can feel it. They pray hard that it will not happen to them. Certainly not under a minority leader, nor as a result of Taiwan being used as a pawn by the US. Politics on the island is trending towards reunification. The signs are appearing. In the last presidential election, majority of voters did not vote for the DPP candidate Lai. But due to vote split in a three-corner fight, Lai ended up with the largest percentage but still not the majority of votes. The next election will result in an anti-independence party in government. This will reverse the situation. Relationship across the strait will be much improved. Peaceful reunification will be more assured. China should concentrate on developing its might, becoming a more formidable nation with more impressive achievements. It should leave no doubt that it has the might to prevent a US-led military intervention against reunification. This should convince more people in Taiwan that China is a stronger and better country than any in the West, leave alone Taiwan. They would prefer Taiwan to return to the embrace of the motherland than being a mere pawn of the US.